guys, and welcome back to another great episode of Raw Truth. Today's a very powerful episode, like I find like all of them are. We're going to be talking a lot about negativity and how to deal with that. Parents, like being young, like heck, like all throughout life, we always get people who may feel make us feel less than, and we're going to talk about how to deal with that, on a mindset level, and also just like tactical tips you guys can take away so nothing comes your way that you can't handle. We're also going to talk about how to own who you are and own your truth, because when it comes down to living our most abundant life, we seriously need to just step into who we are and own that, because that's attractive and people love that. People want to be with that. We're also going to talk about how to say no, because if you're like me, I struggle with saying no to other people because I like to please everyone. But Karen's going to give us really good ideas on like ways to deal with that and how to say no and leave the person feeling
satisfied.
Yeah, and you feeling empowered in your delivery of saying no. And lastly, we're going to kind of dig deep into why it is we want these things that are like the vanity things that society makes us want. Like, why do we need X amount of followers to feel a certain way? Why do we need thousands of likes on a photo? Why do we desire these things? We're going to dig deep into all those things and more, so stay tuned for today's episode because it's a good one.
Yeah. So what's up? What's on your mind? What's going on? How has your week been?
Oh, it's been good. I feel a lot lighter being here. I find like every day I'm here in LA, it's just getting better. It's getting good. But one of the things that I really wanted to talk about today, which I think that like it's like a constant thing no matter where you are in your journey, no matter what age you are, I think we all, like, being a female, we can all resonate with this, but I kind of want to take it back to, like, experiences in my life that I've, like, reflected on about, like, my upbringing and how it's kind of crazy how, like, life can unfold and kind of change. But one of the things I want to talk about is, like, people and how people treat you differently depending on, like, kind of what they see or what they know, and how sometimes that's not very genuine or real. So I guess to put it in an example and be straight up, like growing up, I was just like a normal kid. I don't know, like I experienced a lot of I guess bullying from other girls, and just like I don't know, I was never like a cool kid, like what cool kids say. Like I was just like going to school, like did my homework, like went to after school stuff, but had some friends, but I was never like a popular like kid who girls were like, oh, I want like you to be my best friend. Like I experienced a lot of like exclusion as a kid, and like just girls being mean to me and like leaving me out of things, and I was never like like growing up in high school, even like high school, middle school, I was never like a kid who like I was with like the cutest guy. I didn't even like date, like forget that. And I don't know, it's just like crazy to me though, how like when you grow up and things change, how these people who weren't so nice to you growing up and it kind of ignored you come back into your life to act like your best friend. So I'm just going off of a personal experience. This has happened so many times to me, and like especially in the past like year.
What bothers you about that?
I just think it's like, why now? Like, why not when I was little? Like, what's different about, I'm the same person. But
you know the answer to that. So the answer to that is because you're successful and killing it and doing it, and they want to like, they're like down here, so they're trying to like touch you and reach you now. So we're
all on the same level.
That's like, you know, it's like, unfortunately, society exists a little bit like we're all crabs in a bucket, and some people are trying to reach up and grab other people's legs, and the people's legs, they're hanging on, and it's everyone's trying to push each other's head down to get above, right? That's a lot of the toxicity within, not everybody, but a lot of society, so you're probably tasting a slice of that. But do you think that, you know, the feeling of, you know, that you're apprehensive whether you're going to get used or taken advantage of?
100%, because it's happened to me, like, in my own journey, like, so far, I've been, like, I love to give to others, and I don't like, if someone wants like something, I'm like, yeah, for sure, I'll help you out. Like, I just want to give, and that's kind of stabbed me in the back too with people. Like, people don't reciprocate. Like, I always thought, like, it's a give and take. Like, you provide value to someone, maybe they'll help you out, but sometimes it's just a give, and then you are left feeling empty. And
but here's the thing, right there. Okay, so that's one way of being. Okay, the issue isn't the expectation of getting something back and that not being fulfilled. Okay, because when you give something, you want to try and give it wholeheartedly with no needs back, no expectations back, no wants back. Just the drop of it is what makes you feel like you're giving. Which is what makes you feel like you're receiving. So that in the action of giving,
I guess it's like giving to the wrong people.
Okay, that's where it's at.
That's
Right
where
there.
that emotion comes in.
Being
when you're
able,
giving and you, like, I've given to so many people and I don't expect anything back, and I feel freaking amazing for doing that.
So the real issue is, it's when you're then giving and you know that your gut is saying, this isn't one of those like love on the give. This is one of those that could come back and be self-sabotaging. Okay, so like it's more about deciphering to your own self, this is where I want to drop it. This is where I want to give my energy to. And it could be for many reasons, okay? It could be for many reasons, but it has to be dropped without anything needing or wanting to come back. Just the purity of the love drop, you know? But you also have to love drop on yourself. So you need to know that when you're love dropping on someone else, okay, then that's taking time away from what needs to be dropped on yourself. So it's more, dropping on others is amazing when you're dropping on like a positive friend or someone that needs help that you love or have a connection with. Like that type of a drop is like,
or when it's just like well received from someone, when they're so appreciative and like that, so fulfilling.
Yeah.
Like a warm, a genuine thank you.
But you're talking about a whole series. So when you're bullied or when you're not discriminated,
looked at less than, you know?
Looked at less than. When you're either in child.
It's not what you're said. It's like not something you're told, but it's a feeling that someone makes you feel.
Right.
Like that story you said this morning about the Uber. That lady in the Uber made you feel less than. She didn't say anything per se.
She just was a very entitled. I was at a dentist this morning in Beverly Hills, and I went, as I was getting in my Uber, another woman was getting out, and she just had this reek of entitlement, like reeked of it. And I jumped in the Uber, and the Uber driver said straight away, oh, that woman was heavy. She was a producer, but she wasn't very nice. And so I was like, you know, I felt that. But it's like, it's not about your control to change that. It's just how you receive it. You're like, feel sorry, you know, I'm sorry that you feel that entitled, because that's going to definitely limit your happiness in life. You're going to be disappointed all over the place if you have entitlement entitlement stuff going on. But I think they're two separate things. So what you're saying is like, you know, when you're growing up and you're just like, you know, doing your thing and you're quite shy, quite quiet, and there's all these popular girls and they're getting the boys and they're going to the parties and they're whatever, and then all of a sudden you go up here all of a sudden in life and they're like looking at you like, yo, what, how, huh? And then they're writing emails and messages to you like they're your best friend and trying to click it because they think that they can, one, and then they also are you, like, in a sense, using you to climb or using you to move up in life, right? So you have to look at it.
Using you for anything, like a place to stay. Now that I'm out here, I've received so many messages from people I don't even know, asking, like, not even asking, like, just saying, like, hey, like, I'm gonna come down next month, like, I got a place to stay. Like, it's really funny how people...
So what would be, in your opinion, the coolest way to handle that? So you've got some options, right? You can like either not respond, right? One. Two, you can like entertain it or say, oh, that'd be great, and go along with it for a bit and then be like, oh, hey, it's not going to work, and make up some lie, right? Or you can go raw truth all over their ass and be like, yo, listen, here's the real. I'm feeling some kind of way about the way you just like texted me. And the reason is because you haven't hit me up since
the energy's off.
I sent you a message. You didn't even respond back, right? The subject we're talking about. didn't even respond back, and now all of a sudden you're hitting me up like you're my bestie, and I feel some kind of way about that, and just put her on the spot. Not only does it's the raw truth, it's going to make you feel good afterwards, but two, it's going to make her question her. Exactly.
Karen told, this is kind of like another thing that resonates with that, but Karen told me this a while ago, like a month ago, one of our first times we met. But I was telling Karen how, like, I have trouble saying no. And I was at, like, the gym, for example, and this guy kept bothering me to take his videos for Instagram. Like, I understand, like, I make videos on Instagram, but I, like, just, like, if I don't know anyone, I don't want to interrupt anyone, even my friends, if they're there, I'll just, like, put the phone on the ground and, like, try to film a video. But he asked me to film something, and I was like, you know what, fine, sure, I'm, like, resting. Again. It was like an hour and a half of my like workout that got ruined, and I just felt like that was like an hour and a half I had to train. And Karen was like, straight up, like, you should have just said, like, this is my time to train. Like, no, like, I'm sorry, like, I can help you out, of course, but like, say no, because
okay, but what more to the point
though,
is
like,
why?
yeah,
What's difficult about saying no? So like this is you know, there are people that this is the whole using thing of people, is like people will try that and take from you and take and how do you just straight up be like, yo, you know what? No.
You have to be truthful about it, because then you said to me, if you don't like speak your truth and say like no because it didn't make me feel good, like I wasted my time there, and like speak from the heart and speak your truth in that moment and how you feel, then you only attract those people who will be like, you're right. Like, if he took it the wrong way and was like, oh, you're a bitch or something like that, then it, like, truly, do I really want to be around people like that? No, but
he's not even going to react that way. You only think that. That's what I told you as well. Remember, I was like, remember how I was saying to you, one of the things, because she's so nice, the reason why people become pleasers or like, you know, always say yes to things is because they're worried that the reciprocant is going to see them as a bitch, right? Or see, especially for girls and women, if you're not like nice and saying yes and have this whole thing, people like receive you as, it's not true. It's just that you respect your time. Like, your time's important, and it's absolutely beautiful to drop it and be kind on someone for a moment. And I'm not saying to not do that. I'm saying that it's important to know when is your time, and you've allocated for your time, which is this situation that we're speaking about. And you're not a bitch. The way you deliver it can be so sweet. You're like, I've only got this hour to train. This is what I've set aside. I really don't have time, but maybe next time. Boom. Nice, sweet, dropping. If he hates you on that, what are you going to... You've just explained to him no and why no. He's going to look like the asshole if he's then calling you a bitch. So it's like all good. And it'll make him a little bit more mindful about just going up to someone and getting them to shoot a video for them. Especially because it's not like a photo. It's like a chunk of time and again and again,
right? Like...
Yeah, so like, you know, and you would have the, you know, some people feel nervous the other way around. Like, you know, the sweet and the sensitive people would feel nervous to go up and ask someone to even just take a photo for them, you know, because they're worried they're going to inconvenience that person or they're in the way. You know, those people, that's sweet. I think it's just important to be mindful. Like, if you're going to ask someone, just look, make sure they're not on their phone, they're kind of by themselves. They maybe, you know, wouldn't mind to do that. You feel people's aura and their energy out. But if someone's like, in a rush, they're on a phone and then you're trying to drop in there and be like getting them to do some stranger that you don't know to do a kind favor for you. Like, I don't know, you have to be very just aware of, you know, the total of the situation, you and that person. But yeah, like, and talking, I just think that, I know, the better you get at being your own truth and the better you get at knowing how to express a kind delivery, even if it's no, or sorry I can't, or, you know, I just can't work with you, or I don't have time for you to come and stay at my place for the weekend. Even if you're dropping like what looks like a negative, you can drop it in a positive way. So that's the key. Then you can be your own truth all over the place.
Yes, and this actually I want to kind of go back into like when people are mean to you, particularly with my experience with girls growing up and like my relationship with females now, how it impacted it, how it has an impact on it. Owning your truth and being yourself, like, there's nothing wrong with that. And growing up, like, it's hard in school, especially now. I can't even imagine, like, when I was in elementary school, there was no Instagram, and like, I know kids are on Instagram and like all these other social platforms, that you have this like constant comparison. And maybe being in elementary school or like grade 8 and like having a following, like you're automatically a cool girl, and if you don't have that, you feel less than. And I don't want people to ever, like, if you're watching this and you think like there's someone being mean to you or nasty to you, like, where do you think that stems from in the other individuals?
It stems from giving too many fucks.
Okay, so, but when you're little, like, you give all the fucks, because, like, everything, like, really, you're so impressionable and you get so affected by things.
Not everybody. Like, I was just going to say that I could have been bullied or hated on or had bad things come at me, but I don't ever remember any of that. None of that ever stuck with me. It doesn't even come in. I'm so in my own lane, and I always have been since I was a kid. And I think that's powerful, to just constantly focus. If you're a parent, a kid won't know how to think this. So, you know, if you're a parent, you're telling your kids constantly affirmating themselves, what they're doing, paying attention to themselves. Yeah. Like, they're only looking at others from like empathy, to learn. If someone's in a situation, to learn. It's about growing yourself and literally paying zero mind to anything negative or anything where you're trying to please or fit in, or, you know, fitting in, trust me, is not that fun. Actually, to be honest, I don't really know what it's like, but I know it's not. I know it's sick to not fit in. So, like, to be the same as everybody else, to be on the same like jingle as everybody else, like, that's actually not that great. Like, so if you're actually already on another thing and you already got your own, which most people, everyone is born different. It's just recognizing that you're supposed to embrace and bring out yourself and grow yourself more and more and more. It's got nothing to do with anybody else.
But when you're young, or like your mindset's not in that state of like, it's so...
Give me an age young. What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, like 13, 14, 15, 16, yeah. Like that age group.
Yeah.
You've grown up on social media, on Instagram, like constantly looking at your feed of other girls, constantly at school being around girls who are claimed popular. Like, I'm just like really resonating with this, because like this was my childhood, yeah. Minus like as much on social media. But I did an event before I came out to LA, and it was like that demographic I was sitting with and talking to. And personally, I got the opportunity to talk to these girls, and it's easy for us to be like, oh, just tell them, like, screw you. But it's really hard. So what tips would you give parents? And even, like, if someone is young watching this,
13,
like,
14, if I was coaching you and you were 13, 14, you wouldn't be in that mindset. You'd be sitting with all these other girls, and you'd be flicking through, yeah. Like, things that positively infuse you. If you look at another girl, you're not looking at her comparing yourself to her. You're not looking at her of how great she is or how bad she is or right or wrong she is. If you are looking at her, it might be of some purpose. Like, there's something that's aspiring you about her, or there's something...
What if they're, like, no, what if they're comparing themselves?
Yeah, but that's a part of the not good stuff.
Yeah, so how would you tell someone to not use...
Pay attention differently.
Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted to say. So
paying attention, if you're comparing and using that, comparison is the worst. So, like,
that quote,
as soon as you, let's say I was in your life, I was your coach when you were 13, all right? You would come home and you would tell me, oh, this girl just this and this today, and she made fun of my hair or my top, or, I don't know, give me something, whatever she would make fun of you of. I would then say to you as a parent, I would say to you, don't pay it no mind, feel sorry for that girl. She has to say that to you because she's feeling pain. So that girl, next time she gives you something, and just feel sorry for her, because you wouldn't do that to someone, would you? Think about what it would take for you to criticize somebody. Think about what you would have to be in pain to be able to give that out. So feel sorry for her that this girl's this way. Then the child thinks differently. Okay? The child then doesn't look, or the 13-year-old or the 14-year-old, doesn't look at it and take it personally. It has an understanding it's that person that's delivering it has the problem, has the issue. Okay? And like that's really, really big, especially for like girls from, like, I would even say 12. Like, just from running, I ran a varsity team, a JV varsity team squash, and also a middle school team. and I worked with lower school in the lower school curriculum. And so and it was an all-girls school, private all-girls school. You know, these girls are absolutely looking at each other, and they don't even have boys. So I can't even, like, at a co-ed school now, like, you know, with social media, I mean, I just think that the best thing that girls can try and do and parents can try and do is to stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane and love on your lane. You don't have time to, like, there's so many things that you could choose to think, right?
I know, like, when I was younger, I wish I loved on myself more.
Yeah.
And just, like, enjoyed that more and been, like, so happy to be in the body I was in, or, like, everything. Just, like, soak it in.
Yeah.
Because, like, you see as you get older and as you, like, work on the mindset, how much, like, that didn't matter, how much, like, letting, like, one comment that a girl would say, like, it may affect you a lot when you're young and ruin your day, but, like, now, like, shit like that doesn't ruin my day.
You know what else? It's like, this is all humans, all of us. I could tell you 20 positive things and tell you one negative thing.
Yeah.
Right? And the negative thing is the one that you're going to chew on.
Yeah.
You don't chew on the 19 other things or the 20 other, like, and that in itself just shows you, like, as humans, we're insecure. As humans, we have so much self-doubt. And that, again, is how we've been. People want, like, it'd be great, like, if there are people up the top that are running the human race and getting us to behave certain ways, this absolutely serves them. So if you think this way, it doesn't serve you at all. It absolutely serves them, because you're going to fit into a mold. They can do anything with you. When you don't have self-strength and self-security, you can be like, you could all go on drugs, you could go on suicidal thinking, you could go in so many directions just because you don't know where to go and how to think, and all these self-loathing thoughts end up eating you up. So it's so important that if you are a girl, 12, 13, 14, in there, even boys have it too, though. Boys have it too.
A mentor, like, even if you're an older sister or brother watching this, like, instill that mindset to yourself, to others, to, like, younger ones.
Yeah. So what do you think, like, from your experience, bringing it back to right now, after having gone through a lot of these, you know, growing pains, so to speak, what do you think right now, moving forward, how that's changed you? Like, being aware that, oh, I was regular, right? Because most girls go through life the way you did. But what do you think now moving forward? Has that tainted you at all because you realize this? Or has that, like, enlightened you more? Like, how do you receive that? How do you use that information?
It definitely enlightens, and it makes me feel empowered and like it's my purpose to instill instill what I've learned into younger children, so, or younger girls, anyone who's going through this, to know that, like, that means nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, that, those experiences where people try to, like, make you feel less than, like, those don't mean anything. Like, it's up to you. And going through this, it makes me feel enlightened with the experience I was telling you about recently, about how, like, literally girls from my childhood reaching out to me and, like, say, it just kind of, like, proves the point of what you're saying. Mm-hmm. It literally, like, is proof, but you don't get that proof, obviously, when you're young.
So what are you going to do now? How are you going to handle that situation? Are you going to respond back to it? What are you going to do?
I don't know, probably, like, not reply, I don't know, I just did.
Yeah, but, okay, what's the best way to handle it?
To kind of teach them something in the process?
To confront the situation. For you, it's so important because you don't do it. So when you start exercising being your own raw truth, that means that you start exercising being everything that you're saying right now. So, like, by addressing it head on, not only does it, like, nip it at the bud, because she's not going to keep coming back at you and make it awkward, and you're going to feel some kind of way about the way you handled it because it's very evasive and submissive.
Yeah.
Right? So the best thing that you can do, not that you have to, you can do what you want. The best thing you can do is address it. Write her a text message, write her a thing and say, hey, this is where I have zero time, and just give her a 1-2. That's it. And then that in itself, you've spoken, and you've spoken who you are, and that who you are is who you are, and it's going to grow stronger. It's being a more you of yourself.
That's amazing. I want to give everyone watching, and myself, because I always learn from all this, tips on how you can grow into a stronger version of you, without, like, yes, this is one of them, like expressing your truth to someone when this opportunity unfolds and you have to write a response, but what are other ways you can practice your truth, like owning who you are? Like saying no, like obviously that's a great one. Like if you don't want to do something, like speak your truth. Like
if you at any moment, if you feel like you're getting bullied or if you feel like you're getting felt less than, confront it. Like just like straight up walk up to it and be like, why are you making me feel less than? And see what that person says back. Like literally see what that person says back. It's powerful. Like it is powerful to confront negativity and stand with it and just question it back at the person, let them feel it. Like that's being raw truth right there.
Any other examples that come to mind?
Give me a situation where you would, the camera one. So the guy, you know, the same thing, someone's trying to ask you for something and you're not really feeling it. Just being real and raw about it, like, and why. Yeah, but even with yourself, being real and raw with yourself, understanding why you react to certain things, understanding why you do certain things, why do you want to please? Why do you have the need to fit in? Why? Why do you have the need
That is so fire.
Why do you want to get 1 million likes? Why do you want to have a gazillion followers? Like why? What do you think that's going to fulfill?
What does that matter? What does that achieve?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to achieve what? Popularity? All right? It's going to achieve... In popularity, what are you going to get when you get popular? You're going to get, what, boys or girls? Or you think you're going to get, like, you know, more job opportunities, more people liking you? There's a power...
To me, when you don't say no and when you don't speak your truth, you attract those people, fake people, into your life. Yeah. So unless that you can speak your truth, you're going to attract the people who you want.
Yeah, exactly. And also watch how popular you get when you can be real, raw truth in the sense of your confident self. Because people love that. Like, people, like, they trust it, for one. And that doesn't even mean that's like the opposite of perfect, okay? If perfect is like being nice and being great and on point, no one really trusts that. Like, nah. You might like it from a distance, but it's not something you want to like hang out with and connect with and grind through life with.
And talk with and vibe with.
Like someone that's like real and true and what you feel safe with, because you know that they're gonna give it to you straight. And especially if they're coming from a place of love, that it's all going to be, it's just about, you're going to grow, you're going to feel safe in that space, and you're also going to become that way, and that can only elevate your life.
It's amazing. And on that note, I'm so sorry, it's all the time we have today on Raw Truth, but as always, I always think these episodes are too short, so if you guys think so too, comment below and let us know, and we can definitely extend. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked today's episode, you're watching on YouTube, please comment down below and let us know what you guys would like to talk about next time, what resonates. If you have a story, let us know. Hook us up with a thumbs up if you like the video, and if you guys are really busy and on the go, we're on all podcast apps, and we will have those also linked below. So thanks so much for watching. Love on love. Hopefully you guys received tremendous value from this, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.